Have questions about your pets? Looking for your next forever friend? We've got you covered. This is Pet Connection with Energy 95.3. Now, here's Erik Fox.
And a beautiful Wednesday morning here in B-Town. What's going on? It's Erik Fox from Energy 95.3, joined every other Wednesday here with the amazing team at Kern County Animal Services, as once again we give you a chance to meet your new forever friend. Also learn some things you might want to know about your pets and a whole lot more. In fact, if you are watching with us live right now, you can actually put your comments right there in the chat. Maybe you got some questions that we can bring up here with the amazing staff. And today we have Kelsey, Katie, and Nick. Let me get myself off the screen because we want to talk about the amazing Honey who's joined us today. First of all, hello, good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good morning.
Doing very well. Let's go and talk about Honey, who's enjoying a nice treat right now. What can you tell us about Honey?
So Honey is a year old. She's been at the shelter for about three weeks.
3 weeks.
She's amazing with other dogs. We believe she's potty trained, not 100% sure. She's a German Shepherd. She still needs to get spayed, but we set all that up for you. And she's an amazing dog, very calm, but still likes to play.
Yeah, she's got a good personality.
Mhm,
very
she really
relaxed
does.
and reserved. But she's still a puppy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, she's a puppy. She's only about a year old, so she's got a little bit of growing to do. And she is going to need to probably be in a family that is relatively active
Yes.
to keep her happy and healthy. But she's such a sweet girl. She's a very good dog. We know she's going to make somebody's family just complete when they introduce her to the household.
We've always talked about dogs that are about that 1 year age where you kind of try to relate it to what you can think with adults or humans. And it's kind of that toddler mentality, right?
Right.
Yeah, we think so. Especially for a dog that's got a good baseline, Honey's got a good baseline. She's very sweet, very well behaved. And like Katie said, the awesome thing about her is that she gets along with other dogs,
Yes.
which dramatically increases the amount of homes that she can probably do well in.
Talk about the activity as we're finally cooling down here in the valley where people are like, hey, you know what? It's not so hot to go outside and do things. Honey can definitely be that perfect companion for you guys.
Yeah, we think so. And
I think
she seems like treats.
Yeah, she likes treats. And she does really well on a leash. I think she'd be good with somebody who was very active or semi-active.
Yeah, the fact
so when
that
you go out to Hard Park and all those hiking trails above the bluffs up there, perfect companion is Honey for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that she's treat motivated, which is clear, because you can only see the back of her head because she's constantly interested in the treats. That's always a good thing because it'll help you with training Honey because you know that she's treat motivated, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I just want to point out, yes, you're not actually, there's Honey. There's Honey's face. She does exist on the other side of her. But yes,
yeah, when you're out there, you get both sides.
Yeah.
There's a
behind door number one. Let's go and talk about, because we talked about how she is good with other dogs, and one of the things in which we've talked about before is you guys actually get a chance to like really get to know the temperament of the animals that could be your new forever friend. And Katie and Kelsey, what can you tell us about kind of how you work with the dogs to kind of understand and know what their temperaments are?
Usually, like what I do, I mean, most of us do anyways, if we see a dog that's either scared or even just like, for some reason, like attract to it, we'll pull them out and we'll like go to the play yard or somewhere separate from the kennels just to get to know them and see what they know and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I definitely think meet and greets too with like the public helps a lot, getting to know the dog, and just we clean their kennels every day and feed them and do what we do with them. So we get to know their temperaments, how they act, how they are with other dogs, how they are on a leash, how they are with people. So I really think that helps the public when they come in, that we can explain how they are to them.
I think it's always important to understand too, when you're adopting a pet from the shelter and you ask us about the animal's behavior, you got to remember it's a snapshot into that animal's behavior. Yeah. Because when an animal comes into the shelter environment, it's a very stressful environment, and some of their behavior is a product of that stress. So it might not be truly their actual demeanor or their actual behavior that, not off camera, come on. She's going to cop squat right in front of the camera. But it's important to understand that when you ask us about an animal's temperament that you might be interested in adopting, that it's just a snapshot. We can tell you how they behaved while they've been with us. We can tell you how they've been with dogs while they've been with us. But ultimately, when they get to your home, it's going to take at least 3 days for them to decompress. It's going to take at least 3 weeks for them to feel comfortable in your home. And then it's going to take at least 3 months for them to be part of your pack, part of your family. So we try to make sure that folks remember there's a rule of 3. You got to give these pets time to adjust when they're coming out of a shelter environment.
That's what I always tell people in meet and greets. Just give it time. It's not going to happen overnight.
I think it's a good analogy. I always like doing analogies with humans because we're pretty similar. When you move into a new house or a new apartment, there's that adjustment period where you got to find out how you operate, how you be, and how you're comfortable. Learn your neighbors, all that fun stuff. And the neighbors in this case are you, the humans.
Yeah,
absolutely. But we always want to encourage folks who are interested in adopting to ask questions. If you see an animal you're interested in and you find out that he or she is available, always ask, is there any behavior notes? Is there anything in particular that we know about the animal? We'll be up front. We'll be able to tell you whether one of our staff will personally interact with the animal or there's some behavioral notes. We'll try to tell you everything that we know about the pet, because ultimately, if you're going to commit to the animal, it should be a commitment for the life of the animal. And so we want to give you as much information as we have.
Good call on that. Nick, let's go and talk about it, because we talked about, there's some playtime with the animal before you adopt them. But what's that adoption process like?
We try to make it as quick and streamlined as possible. What we try to ask for is patience.
And we lost our connection there for a moment, so we'll have them rejoin us momentarily. Once again, this is Pet Connection with Energy 95.3. My name is Erik Fox. As soon as we get the team from Kern County Animal Services back with us, we will reconnect up and talk about Honey. Once again, a 1-year-old shepherd female, definitely a good dog to have for, if you're an active person. When we're finally cooling down out here, we want to get out of the house. Honey can definitely be that extra person or that extra 4-legged creature that could be along with you. So as soon as we get Kern County Animal Services back with us, which I think we just got them, so I'm going to put them back on the stage. There you are, guys. So Nick, you're starting to talk about that process for adoption. So now that I've done my filler and I can stop talking for a moment, let's go and talk about that again.
Yeah, it was the first time for everything. I don't know that's happened before. I was just saying we try to make the process as quick and streamlined as we can, but we always ask for patience, because there's times when our staff is incredibly busy. There's a lot of folks in the lobby that want to adopt, that have an animal they need to surrender, want to license their animal, want to foster an animal. And so there's times when it's very busy, and we try to help everybody on a basis where they're pulling a ticket. If you're next in line, then you're up there. But it sometimes can take a bit of time, but we want to ask for patience from the public, but also understand that if you're adopting an animal, that really shouldn't be an impulsive decision. That should be something that you put some thought, some effort, some time into. So, if you get a chance to do a meet and greet with a pet, and for whatever reason you don't think it worked out, feel free to ask to do a meet and greet with another animal. We want that relationship to be long lasting and a commitment for life. And so we understand that when you come in, it may take some time, but we think it should take some time, because this is a process to give you an animal that you can have for the rest of the animal's life.
If someone is interested in being a part of that process, what do people need to do?
They're going to come down to the Kern County Animal Shelter at 3951 Fruitvale Avenue. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., except for Wednesdays. We're open 2 to 7 on Wednesdays. We try to stay open late for the working folks. It's an open admission shelter. So what does that mean? That just means that you don't need permission to walk through the facility to see the adoptable pets. During normal business hours, you can just come into the shelter, walk through the front doors, and go walk through the kennels and see if there's any animals that spark your interest. So, and then just if you see an animal you're interested in, we just ask that you maybe take a snapshot of the kennel that the animal's in, and then you can come up front, speak to some of our staff to give you more information about that animal and see if it's available at that time.
Let's go and talk about also some specials you guys having going on this month, including $20 adoptions, right?
Yeah, all month long. Our adoption fee is just $20. That's the total cost to adopt a pet. That includes all the vaccinations, a microchip for county residents. That includes a license for a year. That also includes a spay and neuter. It's just, like I said, just a $20 cost, and that covers the entire adoption process. That's running all the way through the month of September.
Love that. Once again, we have Katie, Kelsey, and Nick, or Kelsey, Katie, and Nick, if I'm going to do it in the right order here, join us today. Honey is on the floor, but Honey is our guest today, who's chillaxing right now. A1189003 is her ID number, and let's get Honey at home for sure. And once again, we appreciate everything you guys do for our community.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
We'll catch you another time right here with another edition of your Energy Pet Connection with Kern County Animal Services and, of course, Energy 9.